Ako po si Amara and I'm currently taking up Business Administration in SB Jain School of Global Management. I would like to start this video by saying you're never too old, too young, or too poor to start your own business, but you have to have the heart for it. So this video will tackle on the 3S's that you need to start your own business. This isn't a fixed set of rules, but it is what I was able to derive from my own personal experience of starting my own brand. So the first S is to study. This is because when you study, you get to discover different things and subjects that may or may not interest you, and from there you can build on in seeing what kind of topics and things that you're actually interested in that would create a desire and a burn in your heart. So back in 11th grade po, we had this course named Environmental Science, and it sounded too technical, so it wasn't so attractive to me. But as we went on with the course, I just fell in love with it po, and it created such a burden in my heart. And it was mainly because that's when po I realized na ang dami po talaga natin kayamanan dito sa Pinas na napapabayaan lang po natin. And it just hurt me kasi these are the things na pwede po natin ipagmalaki, pero di po natin kaya tong gawin right now because we're not aware of it and we simply don't care about it. So for the longest time during that school year, I was just so frustrated na there's nothing much I can do about it but to just share posts and talk about it with friends and family. So on the side note, I actually also have this best friend who's into cosmetics and skincare. And so as a common topic of conversation that we'd have as friends, he would bring it up and he would share, things, terms that I wouldn't understand, so I would ask him about it. And so out of his own artistic mind, he started coming up with his own DIY products that he would make me test. And it just interested me po na it's not even part of our curriculum, but it's something he's doing out of his way because it's something he likes. I was so inspired with it na by summer 2018, I also started coming up with my own. But I thought to myself, how can I make this different? And that's when it clicked to me na, oh my gosh, I could actually come up with skincare products that would promote organic and natural. And moving on with that idea, I was like, why don't I use, our local natural resources? So that became my very idea of how, to differentiate my brand, which is to come up with skincare products that were natural and organic and that would promote our local natural resources. And so the second S is spark. And spark simply means having the skill and creativity to merge different studies together. And so the reason why study comes first is because if you know only as much, it's so hard to come up and become more creative to link things together. And so yun nga po, my example is that environmental science and skincare. Since I had a good knowledge for both, it became something that I could actually link together and it makes sense to me. And eventually I entered into uni and I was taking up a business course. And because of that, I was also able to add up my knowledge in business into the two things that I already know, which is environmental science and skincare. The third S is to sustain. So to wrap things up, I would give an analogy to explain this. So if you think of a bonfire, it has wood, ignition to start the fire, and voila, it's a bonfire. So basically the wood would represent the things and the studies that you've studied. And so the more learnings that you encounter in your life, the more wood you can add up into that bonfire. And then spark is having the creativity and the skill to start the spark, and then it becomes a bonfire. But we all know po that eventually ang apoy din po ay namamatay. And so we have to put a conscious effort po of fanning it and coming up with our own creative ways of being able to sustain the fire. And one of the practical things is to either keep working on it or to even start studying again and learning different fields, or simply deepening the knowledge that you already have by adding more wood. And so to end, I would like to simply say that don't just depend on your own schooling for your source of education, education, but also to do your own research, read books, and find things that interest you. Because who knows, maybe that's where you'll find your breakthrough to come up with your own